My wife was gone for a week and came back laughing. She said, "I needed a break from you. Be glad I even came back." I stayed calm and said, "Glad you enjoyed it. Now you've got all the time in the world." Then I handed her the black envelope. Her face turned red. "My name is Omari Williams. I am 39 years old, born and raised on the south side of Atlanta. I work as a senior real estate negotiator and part-time property flipper. I built myself from nothing, working double shifts, saving every dollar, buying small broken houses and turning them into homes. People in my neighborhood know me as the calm one, the man who never raises his voice, never shows anger. But the truth is, I learned long ago that the quietest man in the room is often the one thinking 10 steps ahead. In business and in life, I have always used my silence as my sharpest tool, and that silence has saved me many times. For the past 7 years, I had been married to a woman named Aaliyah. She was 28, beautiful, charming, the kind of woman who made a room brighter just by walking into it. When we first met, she was working at a boutique, full of dreams, full of laughter. I fell in love quickly, maybe too quickly, and I promised myself I would give her the world. I bought her a comfortable home, a new car. I supported her dream of starting an online clothing brand. I stood by her through failures, through disappointments, through everything. I gave her my loyalty, my trust, my heart, without ever asking for anything in return except honesty and love. But sometimes, the people you love the most become the ones who hold the knife the deepest. It started slowly, little changes, small things that I tried to ignore, late nights on her phone, sudden insecurity about where she was going, new clothes bought with money she claimed she did not spend, phone turned upside down on the table, mood swings that appeared only when she came home from being out. I noticed everything, but said nothing, because I believed in giving space. I believed in trusting the person you chose to build a life with. I believed in not becoming controlling or paranoid. I believed in her, foolishly. Then, one Friday morning, she packed a small suitcase, walked into the living room and said the strangest words I had ever heard come out of her mouth. She said, "I need a break from you, Omari. I need to breathe, to feel alive again. We are too boring, too predictable, too stable. I need to go somewhere and remind myself that I still have choices." At first I thought it was a joke, but the seriousness in her eyes told me otherwise. I asked her where she was going. She did not answer. She simply said, "Be glad I even came to tell you." Most women would have just left. I kept my voice calm, steady, and I said, "If you need space, take it. I will not stop you." She left that evening. No goodbye hug, no kiss, no message telling me she reached safely. She was gone for a full week, and during that week, I learned the truth she never expected me to learn. On the third day, a friend of mine, someone I trust like a brother, sent me pictures, not blurry pictures, not screenshots, but clear, undeniable images of my wife sitting at a rooftop bar, laughing, leaning close to a man I had never seen before, her hand on his arm, his hand on her waist. In another picture they were leaving together, too close, too familiar for two people who were supposedly just friends. I stared at those pictures for a long time, not because I was surprised, but because I finally felt the last thread of hope snap inside me, the hope that maybe she just needed a mental break, the hope that maybe she was just tired, the hope that maybe she still loved me the same way I loved her. Those hopes died that night. I did not confront her. I did not send the pictures. I did not call the man. I simply sat at my desk and began preparing something she never imagined in her wildest dreams. I prepared every document, every account, every piece of evidence, every financial record. I put them together into a single black envelope, the kind that speaks silently, the kind that holds weight even before it is opened. Inside that envelope was everything she feared and everything she deserved. On the seventh day, at exactly 3 in the afternoon, the front door unlocked, and she walked in. Her hair was done, her makeup fresh, her clothes new. She looked like someone returning from a vacation. She dropped her bag on the couch, stretched her arms and laughed, a loud, careless, almost mocking laugh. She said, "Oh my God, Omari, that was exactly what I needed. A break from you, a break from this house, a break from this boring predictable life. Be glad I even came back. Some women would not come back at all. She thought she was being funny. She thought she was in control. She thought I would beg, cry, question her, but I did not. I simply stood up, smiled slightly and said, I am glad you enjoyed it, now you have all the time in the world, and I handed her the black envelope. Her laughter froze, her eyebrows narrowed, her fingers trembled as she opened the flap. The moment her eyes hit the first page, her entire face turned red, not the red of embarrassment, but the red of fear, pure fear, the kind that tightens the throat and steals the breath. Inside the envelope were divorce papers, documents showing the hidden accounts she thought I never knew about, screenshots of her messages, pictures of her rooftop date, hotel bills, and most importantly, proof that every financial contribution to our home had been made by me alone, meaning she had no claim to my properties. She looked at me as if seeing a stranger. She said, Omari, what is this? You cannot be serious. I came back. I came home. You do not have to do this. Let us talk. Let us fix things. I shook my head slowly, calmly, and said, No, Aaliyah, you left long before you walked out 7 days ago, and I am only giving you the freedom you were so desperate to taste. You wanted choices. Well, now you have them. All the time in the world. You are free from me and my boring stable life. She started crying, not gentle tears, but desperate, trembling sobs. She reached for my hand, but I moved away. She begged, she swore. She said the man meant nothing. She said it was only a week. She said she was confused. She said she made a mistake, and maybe she did, but some mistakes come with consequences you cannot bargain your way out of. I told her she needed to leave the house by morning. Her clothes would be sent to her mother's place, and I would not be giving her a single dollar beyond what the law required. She screamed that I was heartless, that I was cruel, but I reminded her of her own words. Be glad I even came back. She tasted her own sentence like poison. That night I slept peacefully for the first time in months. In the days that followed, the truth about her so-called break spread. People she trusted began distancing themselves. The man she had been with blocked her the moment he realized she was exposed. She tried calling me many times, sending messages, long paragraphs promising change, repentance, new beginnings, but I never replied. Sometimes the greatest revenge is not anger, not shouting, not violence, but silence, cold, final, irreversible silence. 3 months later, I sold the house we once lived in, bought myself a beautiful new place overlooking the lake. Peaceful, quiet, filled with sunlight. I filled it with memories of my own, not memories built on lies or betrayal. And as I sit in my new living room, telling you this story, I realize something. Sometimes life gives you storms not to drown you, but to wash away the people who were never meant to stay. Aaliyah wanted freedom, and I gave it to her completely. She wanted choices, so I removed myself from hers. She wanted space, so I gave her a life without me. That is not cruelty, that is justice, that is balance, that is the kind of revenge that does not destroy you but builds you stronger. And as for me, I moved on, I rebuilt, I healed, and I learned that sometimes the calmest man is the one who delivers the loudest lesson without ever raising his voice. That black envelope was not the end of my story, it was only the beginning of hers. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And tell me, what would you have done if you were in my place?